Bonjour, Rob.
Olá, Elizabeth.
Je m'appelle Claude,
Eu me chamo Cândida.
and we want to congratulate you on show 400. It's been a great ride, and we look forward to show 800.
And seeing you in Portugal.
Au revoir.
Adeus.
Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Viceroy of Verisimilitude, your Master of Fun and Wonder, your Archbishop of Banterbury, I'm overwhelmed by all of you, you imagination connoisseurs, you members of the Post-Geek Singularity. I want to thank Claude and Candida for sending me that video. I'm still getting videos. I don't even remember what I am. I do remember that, of course, I am the existential Mr. Rogers. Yes, that much is certain. That much is true. And I am Robert Meyer Burnett, and I am Robcasting it. You imagination connoisseurs from the Robservatory. This is Robservations number 402. This is a long time coming, ladies and gentlemen. This show is a long time coming, gentle beings and creatures from all over the 28 known galaxies. As you know, as many of you know, I'm sure many of you have been waiting. A lot of you have sent me stuff, like physical items, and they go to a P.O. box in Iowa to Mike Bodden, and then he has to send them to me. But he has had an enormous amount of responsibility, even though his town is small. There's been a lot going on where he's from with the coronavirus epidemic, and there's been flooding there. He had the first murder in his town, craziness. So there's been a delay in what you guys have sent me to actually get to me. But no longer. Mike Bodden packed up another box full of the things that you've been sending me, and let me tell you, it's a pretty overwhelming box. Now, I haven't even opened it yet. I mean, I've opened the actual box itself because I needed to see, like, is this going to be difficult to deal with or whatever. I didn't open anything, but I took a cursory glance, and it's going to be fun, ladies and gentlemen. You guys, you crazy kids, you never cease to amaze me. Wow, unbelievable. So, first of all, there's a bit of news that I wanted to jump into and address first with you before I get into opening this box and all of the other boxes and things that are in it, including, first of all, let's I got to show this. Dieter Everyone's favorite, Dieter Bastian, wrote me a letter, and I'm going to read it. Like a real letter, like a handwritten letter. And he's always complaining about his English. I think his English is great. But look at his handwriting. Look at that. That's amazing. It's and I'm sure it's going to be shiny. I have not read his letter yet, so I don't know what it says. I hope I can read it aloud. I'm going to read it aloud anyway. He knew when he sent it in. I hope it's not too disparaging. But either way, first thing I want to talk about right off the top, as everyone knows, with Universal announcing to the Wall Street Journal how much money they were making off the Trolls World Tour experiment when they pulled it out of theaters and they decided to drop it directly onto SVOD so people could do pay-per-view as an experiment to see how it would work. And everybody's been talking about how great it worked. Well, of course, AMC Theaters came back and said, we will not play any more Universal movies, like apparently ever. I'm sure they'll reach some accord. Regal has followed suit, and the Odeon cinemas in the UK have followed suit. Now, here's what I still have a dream of seeing No Time to Die in Leicester Square at the Odeon Cinema, the same way I saw Skyfall back in 2012. The problem is Universal, I believe, is releasing No Time to Die overseas and in the UK, which means the Odeon cinemas will not play No Time to Die unless some kind of resolution can be discovered, found, negotiated. I don't know, but let me just tell you, I'm annoyed by this. I'm annoyed by this because I was hoping that, Detective Jim, Heidi and I, Elizabeth, maybe Mike, whomever, we're all going to meet. We're all going to go to see No Time to Die in the Odeon Cinema in Leicester Square. But maybe that is not to be. So this dropped today. This dropped on Variety today and this morning around 7 a.m. NBC Universal chief says premium VOD for some movies will be complimentary to theatrical distribution, i.e., you guys can go fuck yourselves. We will not be pressured. NBC Universal chief Jeff Shell is not backing down from Universal's flap with top exhibitors over the studio's premium VOD release of the Trolls World Tour. The NBCU CEO told investors Thursday during Comcast's quarterly earnings call that premium VOD releases for some titles will be a complementary element to traditional theatrical distribution for the studio. Shell emphasized that he sees theatrical distribution as rebounding from the COVID-19 shutdowns, but he also stressed the reality for many consumers is that movies are watched in the home, and studios would be foolish to ignore that fact. The question is, when we come out of this, what is going to be the model? This is quote, this is what he's saying. I would expect that consumers will return to theaters, and we will be a part of that, Shell said. I would also expect PVOD is going to be part of that offering in some way. It's not going to be a replacement, but it will be a complementary element, and we're just going to have to see how long that takes and where that takes us. Oh, look at that. It's an ad for Variety. Why did they have to do that? While I'm trying to read an article from their website. I don't know what to say. Stay healthy and safe. I can't. No, I don't want to do that. Oh man, come on, dudes. I'm live. Don't you understand? Here we go. Let me get rid of it. God, you'd think I'm trying to share their articles. Shell's comments sparked AMC to announce it would no longer book Universal titles in its theaters in protest of the studio's move. Exhibitors typically demand a 90-day window of exclusivity for theatrical titles in theaters before a title is released as a home entertainment offering. NATO, the National Association of Theater Owners, not the other NATO, also weighed in with a lengthy statement questioning whether the unusual circumstances of social distancing and the fact that Universal had spent heavily on traditional film marketing influenced their decision. On the earnings call, Shell said Universal cannot ignore the reality of how many people watch movies these days, even as he stressed that traditional theatrical releases will remain the core of the studio's focus. There's no question that theatrical is someday again going to be the central element to our business, Shell said. It's how many people make their movies and how they expect movies to be seen. The flip side is the majority of movies, whether we like it or not, are being consumed at home. And it's not realistic to assume we're not going to change, that this part of the business isn't going to change like all parts of the business are going to change. Shell said premium VOD offering for Trolls World Tour was developed as a response to unprecedented times. Universal leaders saw it as a way of trying to preserve the premium nature of movies with a special offering at a $20 price point. Other Universal titles that had been set for theatrical rollouts this year, including the 9th installment of the Fast and the Furious franchise, which, let's face it, should be called #Justice for Han, and the animated Minions: The Rise of Gru, have been moved to 2021. Comcast Chief Financial Officer Mike Cavanaugh also stressed the friction for Universal in the theatrical marketplace. The particular circumstances of each film are unique, and we will determine our future distribution approach on a title-by-title basis, he said. Comcast's first quarter earnings reflected the jolt of coronavirus shutdowns across the parent company of Comcast Cable, NBC, Universal, and Sky. The most immediate impact was felt at the company's theme park division, which has been rocked by the shutdown of its park in Japan in late February, and of the Universal Studios parks in Hollywood and Orlando, Florida, as of mid-March. Not surprisingly, theme parks revenue plummeted 32% for the quarter to $869 million, while earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization fell 85% to $76 million. Assuming the U.S. parks are shuttered for the entire second quarter, NBC Universal would see a $500 million hit in EBITDA, Kavanaugh told analysts. Universal's film unit was already facing a tough year-over-year comparison to the 2019 frame, buoyed by How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, and other titles. Revenue fell 22.5% to $1.4 billion, while adjusted EBITDA sank 71% to $106 million, a drop that was aggravated by theater closures at the end of the quarter. Broadcast TV was a bright spot for the quarter with a 9% revenue gain to $2.7 billion and adjusted EBITDA at $501 million. That was fueled in large part by content licensing revenue and retransmission consent gains. Advertising revenue for the quarter was basically flat, driven by political ads and higher pricing. Revenue for the cable networks, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on and on. Okay, but anyway, I think the important thing here is obviously every part of the world has been affected by this pandemic and how we're going to come out of it. And people are not even the states that are coming out of it that are letting people come out in public. The business owners are realizing people are not flocking to their businesses. People do not have confidence that it's safe. And until they do, you're not going to have 100% of businesses working. I totally understand that. As far as this is concerned, look, we all love movie theaters. I love movie theaters. We've talked about this on the show a lot, how we prefer theatrical distribution. But the world is changing. I'm really curious when you, as I always tell you, it ain't show friends, it's show business. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. Inside contracts, maybe not so much with animated titles, but in movies, the director or the stars, they get box office bumps. It's negotiated in their contract that films, when they get released theatrically, if they do well, if they do a certain number, that there's bonuses, there's financial bonuses in their contracts based on how well a film performs. And if you made those contracts, obviously Trolls World Tour was in fact a theatrical release. It was billed as such. I'm sure the people that negotiated their contracts did so thinking that it was going to be a theatrical release. And how does that work? I don't know. It's very interesting. Now, before I jump into this, I mean, look at this box. Look at this, man. This box is full of stuff. But before I get in there, one of my favorite things that has erupted based on my discussion of what a perfect movie is has been the raging debate over Raiders of the Lost Ark and could, in fact, Indiana Jones have stayed on that U-boat? Did the U-boat sink when he left the Bantu Wind and went to the outpost where the Ark of the Covenant was taken? Is there verisimilitude there? Does it break verisimilitude? The debate has been raging. And I have to say, our man Claude, who made that lovely video we saw with his wife Candida, have become big supporters of the channel. They're always sending us bottles of wine to share and port from Portugal. But I'm not reading his letter because you can't butter me up by sending me stuff. Don't think that I don't love it. But you can't butter me up. I'm not going to give you preferential treatment on the channel. If you're a great imagination connoisseur and you've got good thoughts and something interesting to say, I have no problem. I mean, look, wine's nice. I'm not gonna lie, but that doesn't mean I put your letters ahead of the pack. but because there's nothing more I love than continuity. Canonical. Robservations has its own canon. Whether it's your head canon or not, I love the fact that we're developing a canon. It's because of you imagination connoisseurs. And for those of you who heard me read that letter, I think it was yesterday, about Raiders, Claude has stepped into the fray. He is unafraid, and he has jumped in with a rebuttal to yesterday's letter, fueling the debate. He titles his letter, "The Perfect Movie, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark." Bonjour, Monsieur Robert. I am laughing hysterically how many imagination connoisseurs have written about how Indiana Jones hung on to the U-26 after it submerged. I think the answer is easy. This scene has never been a problem for me. Since I read, wait for it, Marvel's Raiders of the Lost Ark comic book, which depicts Indy strapping himself to the periscope and hanging on for the distance. I understand that the comics and novelization are not the movies, so consider the following. Let's re-examine the distance. The German U-boat intercepted Indy and his friends on the Bantu Wind southeast of Sicily. After capturing the Ark, the movie map depicts the U-26 moving north before turning east and traveling into the Aegean Sea. The trip ends at an island north of Crete, between Greece and Turkey, a trip that could have been between 500 and 600 nautical miles. Now, let's try to understand the speed of the U-26. Another imagination connoisseur adeptly pointed out the boat used in Raiders is the same Type 7C built for the movie Das Boot. That's Deutschland speak. Keep in mind, the Type 7C U-boat could only cruise underwater for 2 hours at a time. It needed to surface in order to charge its batteries. More importantly, traveling on the surface is faster. The Type 7, as I've been saying, the Type 7C, it's not 2, it's Type 7C speeds are 11 knots on the surface versus 8 knots when submerged. However, since Raiders of the Lost Ark takes place in 1936, only the Type 7A was in service. In fact, the number U-26 designated in the film had a real-life counterpart, and it was a Type 7A. It had a surface speed of 11 and a submerged speed of 4 knots. Now, we calculate the time. Let's assume that Indiana Jones strapped himself to the periscope as the sub submerged. The key to the puzzle is, did the submarine ever submerge below periscope depth? That is not indicated anywhere in the comic or the movie. We can surmise that U-26 would have submerged to periscope depth just to move away from the Bantu Wind. Once out of sight, it would have resurfaced to recharge its batteries and complete its 600-mile trip in the fastest time, which makes sense because the Führer was very interested in what they had there. So, Indy could have ridden on the conning tower platform, which has a rail and partial shelter. Ooh. Time. If the U-26 drove on the surface at 10 knots an hour over an entire 600-mile trip, it would have taken 2.5 days to reach the fictional secret base. A risky and courageous feat, but not impossible. Again, it's only a fictional world, but the movie logic holds up. Thanks for reading my letters, Claudius. Well, Claudius, what a great letter, and I think you, sir, you are in the know, if I do say so myself. What do you guys think? Do you believe Indiana Jones could have hung on to the U-26's conning tower or periscope? Did it not go below periscope depth? I would say this is pretty sound reasoning. Claudius has given us some sound reasoning here, and I don't think that I'm necessarily fit to debate. I've always thought that Raiders of the Lost Ark, unto itself, has peak verisimilitude, but this is the one debate I've been hearing since I was a kid about this very thing. Could he have clung on? How did he survive the trip? We shall see. Does anyone have any more comments? I would love to know. I love you guys, by the way. Love, love, love you guys for coming up with this stuff. Now back to the, I'm thinking about the conundrum faced by exhibitors and studios. Here's my thoughts on it. Ultimately, I didn't comment much on the Universal situation, but the studios are calling the shots. Movie theaters are nothing without movies to play, and movies come from the studios. There's no way around it. Studios are interested in making money. They're going to do whatever they can do to make sure that their product makes the most money it can make. Do not expect anyone in this day and age, as much as I would like this to be the case, no one is going to sacrifice. If they can maximize their profits, they're going to do it. They're not going to sacrifice their money simply because they want their product seen in the best possible light. Now, I like that. I think it should be. But you know what? If the economics work out that a movie like Trolls World Tour will do better released to the home than in the theater, they're not going to release it in the theater. That's just the reality of life, the reality of the business. As much as I don't like that, I think that's what's going to happen. Now, I really do think it's going to be defined moving forward by budget. However, when Universal has Blumhouse supplying them with a movie that costs $7 million, and they can put that $7 million movie in a theater and make over $100 million on a smaller film with a great ad campaign, would they forego that theatrical release? Could they convince people to watch Invisible Man, a $7 million spend before marketing? Could they convince that many people to spend $100 million in the home? I don't know. I don't know. I think there's going to be some kind of resolution made. I think that AMC's business is to show movies. Regal's business is to show movies. And what they're doing is they're basically going up against their suppliers, and there's not that many suppliers left. I mean, I think one of the byproducts of this is that Disney Fox and Warner Brothers can say, well, we got this movie Tenet coming out, and we know you guys really need it, and Wonder Woman 84, or we've got Black Widow coming out, and we used to have a 50-50 split or a 55-65 split or something, but we'll give you those movies now that you're desperately in need of film because you don't have any Universal product. I think our split should be 70-30. We get 70, you get 30. It puts them in not a great position. I think it might have been a bit of a knee-jerk reaction. Look, I do think that there is an ecosystem here that is beneficial to everyone, and I think that it can stand. I mean, the same thing, by the way, is true of physical media. As much as I like physical media, it's going to go away. Why do the studios want to spend money on physical media why does Disney want to release? I mean, as much as I like the Skywalker set here, well, I think I like it. I haven't even put any of the discs in yet, but I just think that at the end of the day, the studios, why be bothered? If you're Disney and you've got your own streaming service, why would you put out physical media? Now, there's always people that are going to say, but Rob, there's people that live in the rural areas that can't get Disney movies via streaming. I get that. I understand that. But they'll get DVDs still that are usually people that are living in rural areas. I don't know how many of them have great home theater setups, but I'm sure DVDs suit them just fine if they don't have the internet. Who knows? By the way, I don't mean to disparage anybody that lives in rural areas. I'm sure there's many people who live in rural areas who have incredible home theater systems for that very reason. But do they make up enough of the population that physical media is something that puts a dent in Disney's quarterly earnings reports? I don't know. I think ultimately it's better for people, it's better for the studios, it's better for this was an extraordinary situation. I don't think it's something that's going to go on, but it could go on for this extraordinary situation. Movie theaters might not be profitable for a long time because these early states that are opening businesses, like in Texas, business owners people are not flocking to their establishments yet. There are clear safety issues that are going on. And hang on, I have to respond to something. Okay. I did. I'm going to be doing a Zoom chat on the Inglorious Trexperts tonight with Brian Fuller and we're going to be talking about Star Trek Voyager's anniversary and, of course, a little bit of Moonraker, because Brian Fuller loves Moonraker, so tune in for that. But anyway, it's who knows? It's tough. I just hope they all work it out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, this show, after the 400th episode, there's less and less entertainment news to report on, but I have you guys. I've got you imagination connoisseurs, and you've been sending me things for months. I have yet to open them, and now the day has come. Boy, do I have a box full of stuff, which I haven't opened. I see what's here first, and I have a letter from our man Dieter Bastian in Deutschland. I'm just going to read his letter. I was thinking about reading it. Dieter here. I decided to take the dinosaur approach and write you a letter in the old-fashioned way on paper and handwritten. First things first. I'm sorry, Rob. No, I can't do that. It won't matter how deep you'll be searching the package. You won't find any Hot Toys figure in it. But I guess I did get you to open it very quickly, considering you know the shape of the box all too well. But it doesn't come completely empty. I don't know if you remember my letter about Agent Cody Banks getting a nice blue disc release here in Germany, and how cool it would be if my media book would get a signature from the co-producer of the movie, even if the thought on the right situation would have Rob up in arms again. But since I know it's not show friends, it's show business, I'm ready to negotiate for your autograph on that media book with some gifts. So let's check out these contents in the box together and hope it will be enough to persuade you to sign the blue disc on Robservations. You know, like Kevin Smith does in his Cantina show while Mark Bernardin is talking. I just want to make sure it's actually you and not Gilbert. Well, as everyone knows, I was the single card credited co-producer on Agent Cody Banks. And this, look at this. I didn't even know they made this. So this is the German release of Agent Cody Banks. Wow, and it's got a media book. This is amazing. Wow, look at this. This is a very slick Agent Cody Banks package. You know, Dieter, I would rather, if I'm going to sign this, I promise I will sign this, because you have things in Germany that I want. So I can assure you I will sign this. I would rather get a like a decent colored Sharpie or something, which is not, I don't have it in front of me. Wow, this is really nice. I'll have to get myself one of these just to have one. Wow, this is really great. Oh, but it's just a DVD. It's not a Blu-ray. Or is it a Blu-ray? No, it says Blu-ray on the side, but DVD in the back. Maybe it has both. Why, yes, it does. This is amazing. All right. Well, I'm going to sign that. Let me set that right here. Of course, the first gift has to be physical media, just to show the master of fun and wonder it's still alive and kicking. If a little independent sci-fi movie like Prospect, can get such a nice release. So, Rob, I got to get mad a little bit, even if it costs me that autograph. Stop saying physical media is dying, because I have in my head, the sand on that topic, and I just can't handle the truth, even if you're right. On second thought, since I see yourself more at home in the independent movie market, why don't you give a bigger shout out to a film like Prospect, for example? You can see and feel all the blood, sweat, and tears and love for the genre that went into making it. But no, it has to be a Star Wars or Star Trek topic again for 7 days a week straight. At least it feels like it sometimes. You know, Rob, you gotta have those clicks, man, or otherwise your YouTube analytics will give you some nightmares. But you really should be a voice for the little ones too, besides epic Star Trek Discovery rods. Wow, well, what Dieter is referring to, So, as everyone knows, the short film that Lucas Kendall directed that I edited, Skyfighter, is on the Dust channel. And the Dust channel, also, they use those short films as incubators to find talent to make their feature films. And this, Gunpowder and Sky, is the name of the company that oversees Dust. This is the 4K disc from Germany. It has not been released on a 4K disc here domestically, of their first feature, Prospect. Now, Dieter, this is shiny. Wow, I can't thank you enough for this. This is, again, I have a multi-region player, so I can play. Actually, 4K discs are all region, but to watch the special features, wow, this is a really great package. Why didn't they put this out here? By the way, Gunpowder and Sky earlier in the week announced a new production deal where they're going to start making a lot of movies, feature films, both horror and science fiction. So that is pretty incredible. Wow, this is very nice of you. Very nice of you, Dieter. Thank you very much. I don't have that. Goes in the collection. Maybe I should put it somewhere where it can be seen. Actually, I'll put it. Well, I'll figure that out. The second gift I would consider a geeky t-shirt, but actually it has nothing to do with our normal imagination connoisseurs topics. First, sorry, Rob, if the shirt is too big and so could work only as a nightgown, and if it's too small, I misjudged your size. I know, Rob, the camera adds 10 pounds. Don't worry, Rob, I've beaten you in the man boobs department for sure. So, should it fit? The question stands. What's it all about? I don't know what it's all about, Dieter. Let's see. Let's open up this pack. Let's see. There's a t-shirt here. I'm going to open it up. Ooh, I don't know what this is. I don't know what Brooklyn 66 is, but this looks like it's an awesome shirt, and this absolutely will fit me. Is this a German thing? I don't know what this is, but it's awesome. This absolutely will fit me. I can't wait to wear this. So there you go. And then he goes, look at this. It's a 2-page letter, and he goes on. He goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Well, if you look at my home address, it says, oh, Saarbrücken. This is the name of my hometown. A few months back, there was, let's say, a not-so-friendly report on German television about my city. Crime and drug-ridden with no jobs to speak of and on the brink of collapsing into a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Not that far in the future. I didn't see the outlook myself, but those who have were not too happy about it. So they started a little initiative with a positive spin on it. You know, like the Notorious One does. They came up with the cool nickname Saarbrücken instead of Saarbrücken. Because I guess Brooklyn had some identical reputation, made some t-shirts and other stuff for a good cause, so people could show their love for Saarbrücken, because they didn't think the report was accurate. So, Rob, give Saarbrücken your love too, even if you have nothing to do with it. Ooh, I'll wear this on the show, absolutely. I guess since a lot of your viewers are always checking what geeky shirt you're wearing, it would be a total head-scratcher for your imagination connoisseurs to figure that one out without your help by reading my letter, which of course you have permission to do, thank you. You can edit it, set it on fire, or rip it to shreds if you need to let off some steam about Star Trek Discovery again. On a final but totally optional demand, since you're sometimes on the John Campea show with Aaron Cummings, I have to ask you, if it would be possible, could you get me Aaron's autograph on the Bitch Slap Blu-ray too? That would be awesome, and of course, big thanks to her and to you too. Something in the vein of, for Rob's German connoisseur or douchebag Dieter, Aaron Cummings. Well, look at this. Aaron Cummings, who I am on the John Campea show with, although they're on today. I haven't seen her in a while. Wow, this is a nice disc too. Is this German? I guess so. Look at this. So Aaron Cummings, who is on the John Campea show, was in this movie Bitch Slap. This is the unrated version. Yes, sir, I am happy to get this autographed for you. Wow, this is amazing. It's like Christmas, Dieter. But instead of me writing a letter to Santa Claus, you've written a letter to me. On a last minute edition, I put some candies in the package, and I hope they are to your liking. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, come on, man. What is not a party pack of Haribo samplers? Man, this is amazing. Unbelievable. You guys, you kill me. So, Rob, that seals my negotiation tactics and puts the ball in your court now. And since the new Star Trek Picard show and Star Trek Discovery Season 3 lies away in the future, see, this is so long ago. He wrote this before Star Trek Picard even debuted. I catch the Viceroy of Verisimilitude in a good mood for signing stuff. Of course, I pay for the shipping costs back. Just send that info via email. He sends me his email. Rob, see you at the far reaches of space. Best regards from Deutschland. And don't forget the needs of the one prospect need your voice more than the needs of the many or the few. Star Trek and Star Wars. P.S. Have you seen Big Bang Boom yet? That's the last disc Dieter sent me, and I haven't. I know I said no pressure, but considering Disney Plus is your newest show friend, I assume this title will only be collecting dust in your dying physical media department, which bums me out to no end. Saarbrücken, a.k.a. Saarbrooklyn. This is from Dieter. He sent this back in November. I'm disgusted we haven't read. I haven't had this yet. Well, thank you for that, Dieter. That is amazing. It's amazing. Now, here is a box. For those of you who don't know, I've received a couple of these boxes from Joe Weiss. And these boxes are usually, I don't know if I can't say, Joe has been making some amazing, let's see, I have to open this with something. He makes amazing stickers, vinyl genre stickers. He's like what Last Exit to Nowhere does with their t-shirts. He does with stickers, and he makes all kinds of logos and spaceship stickers. And let's see if I got to get in here. He always seals these up pretty well. I probably should have like pre-opened this stuff, but I figured then it wouldn't be as authentic, so I didn't do that. So I'm tearing into this box, and man, he does seal them. So hold on, let me back up and really get into this, which I'm doing. It's working, but see, he hermetically seals these boxes with his stickers. So, okay. Man, I'm going to have to dig in. These stickers are really, they're tough. And I'm using our wine bottle opener from Elizabeth's. Okay, here we go. I'm tearing this apart. Wow. Okay, so Department of Quality Signs, Calypso Sign Works in Holly, Michigan. Okay, I guess this is his sign company. So there you go. There's his phone number. You can call him up. Top quality stuff for over 25 years in Holly, Michigan. I guess you could see that, yeah. And let's open up and see what else. Ooh, there's something else in here. Look at this. Let me oh my God. This is just incredible. Wow, he writes, hey Rob, finally had some time to create some decal sheets per your request. Hope you can sell them or give them away to support the show. As always, keep doing what you do. I've just done a few to test the waters, if these will sell or not. And this is amazing. Kapla, Joe Weiss, Holly, Michigan. Well, Joe, we shall see. I have no idea what is in this box. This, wow. Okay, this is so cool. So, wow. He even made a bot. So here are the sticker sheets that he made. Now, if you look at this, there's like the logos for the stuff and OCP from Omni Consumer Products, the Running Man, Body Melt, Recall, Quietest Children of Men. That's amazing. And these are really nice stickers. So these are full-on sticker sheets. And he calls this one Corporate Corp Whore 2. These are amazing. Now we couldn't sell these because I guess they're logos. I don't know. I'd have to check in to see what we could do with that. Oh my God. Okay, first of all, this guy, he's amazing. Look at this. This is, wow. Like, it's a sticker sheet of all the Federation starships, like Franz Joseph ships, Kelvin era. Wow. This is amazing. These are amazing. Wow. Okay. I can't even, he's got he made stickers of the Thunderball. Here, I should take this off. These are really nice. These are really thick stickers. The DB5, Little Nelly, the boat from Thunderball. Look at that. That's incredible. Look, stickers of Hal. Now, who wouldn't want these? If I was going to elementary school, man, I would have put these all over my peaches, or even junior. Well, who am I kidding? I would have done it in high school too. But this is amazing. Like, if you, all of the stuff that he has here. I mean, look at this. A Rocinante sticker. I mean, this is just a box full of the amazing stickers. Look at this. Look what he did. I don't know how he does this. This is incredible. Look, a Rocketeer helmet. I mean, it's amazing. There's Batman stickers. There's character stickers would get us into a lot of trouble. But, you know, here's a, this is obviously a flux capacitor sticker. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And these sheets, okay, they're, wow, oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, so here's corporate horse sheet number 1. Look at the sticker sheets. NCOM, Wayland Yutani, WGON from, this is kind of like Last Exit to Nowhere, Dawn of the Dead, Mr. Fusion, amazing. Terminator, Cyberdyne Systems. Wow, look at these stickers. Space vehicles. I mean, the Landmaster from Damnation Alley. An Arc 2. I mean, these are the geekiest. Look at that Blade Runner, Mad Max. This is unbelievable. Yeah, we could never. I don't think we could sell these. I don't know if we could get away with selling these, but maybe we could. But these are. Let's see what else. I mean, there's a huge box in here. I mean, look at this. Oh my God, look at this. Here are stickers of all of the from the original series, all of the different breast insignias from different starships that he's made. That's incredible. 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 Let's see what else is in here. I mean, this box is just an endless treasure trove of awesomeness. Oh my God. Here's a sheet he calls Gun Lovers. So he made a sheet of sci-fi weapons. I mean, Zorg's, look at that. That's incredible. Han Solo, Logan's Run, Space 1999, RoboCop. Wow. Even the laser blaster from Laser Blast in 1978. These are like the greatest things I've ever seen. Is there more? I don't even know. International Rescue? All the Thunderbirds? Who doesn't want that? This is amazing, Joe. I can't even begin to. What? Maybe there's more. Maybe there's more. There's more. There's a sheet of space helmet stickers. Space helmet stickers, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable. Space helmet sticker, Judge Dredd, UFO, a sheet of UFO stickers. I mean, this is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. I not to be outdone. Not to be outdone. Stickers for Space 1999. Can you see that? That's amazing. I can't even believe the awesomeness that is in this box. Now, I guess, I mean, to be honest, like Last Exit to Nowhere does these kinds of logo things, but I just don't know how it would work from a legal perspective. I don't know. But I look at this box full of stuff. I mean, this is such an awesome array of things that, I mean, I'd have to look into the legalities of it all because it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. But I don't know if we could give them away or something like that. I have no idea. Maybe we can make a package or something and I don't know. That's unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. Joe from Holly, Michigan. And as you saw earlier in the show, I did put up his company name. So I'm not saying you should contact him directly, but you know, maybe you could. I have no idea. Let's see. This comes from Matthew Ferguson in St. Petersburg, Florida. And it says, let me read. This is back from December. Gratitude is the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae of life. I love that. Rob, I'm sure you're receiving a plethora of accolades for your 300th show on Robservations. Let me add to your congratulatory sentiments. What you're doing, as my grandmother used to say, is God's work. I look forward to another 300 shows. Thank you for all that you do. Good fortune, Mad Dog. You can read this on air if you like. Well, I do like. And I'm sorry it's taken so long for me to get this. But now I just did my 400th show. So gratitude is the cherry on top of ice cream on the Sunday of life. Back at you, sir. Thank you for that. What a very nice card you've sent me. Thank you very much. This letter, I believe, comes from Zephyr Clan. I think. I don't know. Sometimes some of the stuff's a little messed up. I'm just going to assume I can read this letter right away. Ooh, this is a big one. You know what? I'm just going to assume that people sent it to me and they've seen my unboxing, so they know. I'll read this, and if it gets to something that I shouldn't be reading, this does come from Zephyr Chan, Robert Meyer Burnett. Dear Robert, I hope you, Gilbert the Gilberian from the planet Gilbar, Skippy John Jones, and Elizabeth are all doing well and will continue to do and be well this Thanksgiving and Christmas, as well as all other Thanksgiving and Christmases to come. Physically, I am well, but psychologically, I am heartbroken and heartsick for the youths of Hong Kong. If it's their goal to force Chairman Xi's hand and to have a repeat of what happened in Tiananmen Square on the 4th of June, 1989, well, they might succeed sooner rather than later because everyone's patience has limits. In fact, their goal, if that's what indeed is their objective, might truly be reached sooner if President Trump signs the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act into law. My sadness, and truth be told, more than a little despair, isn't completely selfless because I was raised in Hong Kong. So despite not truly being a Hong Kong citizen with a Hong Kong SAR passport, I consider myself to be a Hong Konger. So this is why the Hong Kong protesters' plight tugs at my heartstrings. So I, too, want our chief executive to be accountable to the Hong Kong citizens. Chief Executive Carrie Lam can prove she is accountable for her actions if she convenes an independent inquiry into the policy brutality that happened since the flare-up of tensions in June. She won't, because it was she who approved of the police department's use of excessive force, and thus she would implicate herself were she to open such an inquiry. The people of Hong Kong were and are not her masters. Chairman Xi is. Thank you for patiently reading my grievance about the current events in Hong Kong, my Chinese home. As a compassionate human being, I feel you would be on the side of the protesters rather than the police force, who view the protesters as nothing more than cockroaches to be stepped on and killed. The youngest convicted protester is a 12-year-old boy. By anyone's standard and definition, he's a child. Sigh. It's neither my intention nor my purpose in penning this letter to make us both depressed. What are my intentions and purposes are writing this letter then? Well, I wish to begin a friendship with you and hopefully through that friendship to help each other out. I'm currently a doctoral student in San Francisco's California Institute of Integral Studies. My chosen area of research is Tianti Buddhism, interesting, which is the first fully I don't know what that word is. Sinicized, Buddhist tradition. It's also the tradition that reveres the Lotus Sutra as the highest sutra, and ipso facto is the tradition that most embraces the concepts and practices of skillful or expedient means. Philosophically, Tianti Buddhists embody value paradox, not only because outside of the devil there is no Buddha, and outside of the Buddha there is no devil, but also because defilement is entirely Bodhi and vice versa. Bodhi is the wisdom or awakened intellect of Buddha, a being who completely embodies Bodhi and uses it to alleviate the sufferings of all beings, is Bodhisattva. I hope I'm not butchering these names too bad. Tianti is also the Buddhist tradition that most realizes our temporality is impermanent living beings. This is because every thought, word, and deed is contextualized and recontextualized in light of the past, present, and future. So, in a very real sense, time is perceived the way Dr. Manhattan perceives it. Nice reference. Now I get it. As soon as you said that, isn't it sad? I was a little lost until you said, now I get it. I first saw you on the John Campea show and enjoy your perspective on all things nerdy and geeky, especially with respect to popular culture in the movie industry. It was this episode of Robservations, I don't know which one it is, that inspired me to pen this letter because it's so refreshing to see and hear someone give a fair assessment of Kathleen Kennedy. Well, thank you very much for that. Thank you for teaching me what a producer does and is. In military terms, producers are the commanders overseeing and commanding the battlefield. That is a film production. In other words, it's the producer who puts the various elements that constitute a film, from the finances to the personnel. In that respect, I do agree that Kathleen Kennedy deserves our respect because she has indeed produced many, many, many fantastic films. Yet I think Kevin Feige proved that producers who were and are fans of their productions are more likely to win popular acclaim than those who aren't. In this capitalistic world we live in, popular acclaim is translated into ticket sales and the winning or losing of the box office. Most studio executives should realize fans or imagination connoisseurs should be embraced rather than stigmatized. Before I end this letter, I wish to bring Jilly Cooper's novel, Pandora, to your attention, because I've wanted to adapt that into a film or miniseries ever since I first read it years ago. As an erotic satire of the British art world, the 60s and 1990s, it may not be your cup of tea. Hey, you had me at the word erotic. But I do wish to know just how viable that novel would be as a film or miniseries, given its subject matter. It would be a small independent production, perhaps even an art house flick. As you have experience behind the camera as a producer, I value your opinion highly. So please read Pandora and reply to this letter with your thoughts. I wish you, Gilbert, Skippy Don Jones, and Elizabeth nothing but happiness. Best wishes, Zephyr Chan. Zephyr, thank you for that. And you wrote this back in November as well. I guess it's been a while since I've been getting these. I'm sorry. I hope you don't. It only took 6 months, but hey, I'm finally reading it. By the way, we'll never have this long again. This is something that's wrapped. It feels like a book. I don't know what it is. Nothing is written on it, so we shall see. Maybe there's something. Ooh. Oh, yeah, Mark Edlitz told me about this. This is his book. This is one of our imagination connoisseurs, The Many Lives of James Bond, how the creators of 007 have decoded the super spy. Wow, he told me that he was going to send me this book. Now I have it. Well, this is awesome. Now I can read it in the run-up to No Time to Die. Well, thanks for that, Mark. I very much appreciate that. That's very nice of you to send that to me. So there you go. Our man David Miller sent me this. He sent me an action figure of Carrie Kelly from The Dark Knight, which is interesting because I can put this. She's a little short, but I can definitely put her right next to my Dark Knight Batman that's right there. So I will do that. I will put Carrie Kelly. Why did I say Kitty Kelly? Carrie Kelly right next to Batman. So David Miller, thank you for that. By the way, he was the one that made the animated greetings video on Robservations number 400 that I played at the beginning. This is interesting. This says Warbreaker on it. I'm not quite sure what this is, but I'm going to open it. Obviously, I'll open it here and see what it is. Again, I could have pre-opened this stuff, but where's the fun of that? Why not watch me fumble with this packaging? And of course, I am fumbling with this packaging this packaging is meant to be fumbled with. I get it. I see now. Ooh, wow, okay. Look at this. Brandon Sanderson's Warbreaker. God, this is beautiful. This is amazing. This is beautifully bound. And I guess Brandon wrote this. I guess this is his book. This is incredible. Amazing. This is really, really beautifully bound. Well, shrink wrap. Why don't I open it? See how beautiful it really is. Maybe it's illustrated. I have no idea. Wow, this is a really nice. This is a really nice edition of this book. So yeah, it is illustrated. For those of you, I don't know if it's illustrated throughout. It is illustrated throughout. What a gorgeous, gorgeous book. I don't know much about this, so I will look into this. Okay, Brandon Sanderson. He's written a lot. The Stormlight Archive, the Mistborn Saga, the Reckoneers, Skyward, Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians. Wow. This is amazing. I don't know Brandon Sanderson, but 10th Anniversary Dragonsteel Leather Edition for Emily, who said yes. Well, this is dope. Love this. So thank you for that. I don't know where that came from. Maybe there's a thing in here, but I'm not entirely sure where it is. So here's a oh man, I know what this is. Here's a box. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, my favorite candy in the world on the planet Earth is a very specific candy. It's from Bruce's Candy Kitchen in Cannon Beach, Oregon. That's what this is. Now, I love saltwater taffy, but there's saltwater taffy all over the place. But my favorite, which is my favorite candy of all time, because since I first started eating it when I was like 5 years old, when I first went to Seaside, the time I told my grandmother, oh my God. I mean, you can't. I wish you could smell this. This, if you like cinnamon, I swear to God, this is the greatest cinnamon candy of all time. The smell, the way this smells, it's. I can't even. But I'm not sure who sent this to me because unless there's a card on here. There's not. See, look, they've got all these different flavors of saltwater taffy at Bruce's Candy Kitchen. Don't care. I'm sure they're great. Oh my God. I mean, if I could get a candle that smells like this, cinnamon saltwater taffy, I wish I could explain to you. You know, it's like the Matrix. You have to experience it for yourself. I won't eat any of that because it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's see. Now, I don't know what this is. Oh, wait. From Jason S. Jason S. Now, look at this. Jason S. sends this to me. So there's this, I don't know if that was from Jason S. Maybe Jason S. sent me that box. Well, look at this. Here is another box from our man Joe Weiss from Holly, Michigan. And look what is on the back of this box. Soylent Green, 50 wafers. Wow. I don't know what to say. He already blew me away once. Let's see what Joe Weiss is. I'm sure that come on, sending me two. Oops. Gotta watch out. Unbelievable, this guy. Also very creative because the work that went into. Oh man. This is amazing. Hang on, he sent me a little note. Hey Rob, I have only just realized that you're moving into the new Robservatory. I thought you may need a dedication plaque. I hope I didn't forget someone from the cyber crew. Can't wait to see the new digs. I'm sure it will be glorious. Oh man. Well, I don't even know. He sent me more of these. I don't know where it is here. I'm looking. Oh my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This is okay. This is unbelievable. This is truly unbelievable. Wow. Look at this. Now, this is on hardwood, and it's got a I can see that it's got to peel off the. I think I have to peel off, or maybe not. No, there is something I won't peel it off right this second. He has made me the USS Robservation plaque, Starfleet Registry NCC 2019, launched September 10th, 2018, Earth Station, Pasadena, California, Sol Sector, United Federation of Planets, host, Cyber Crew, Mike Bodden, Jim Boyers, Greg Smith, Louis Yu. That's amazing. K9 backup, Gilbert and Tallulah. Everyone has a story. You just need to ask. Oh, inspiration for it all, John Schnepp. This is amazing. This is amazing. Wow. This will absolutely. I got to put this up. You know what? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right here on camera. I'm going to do because this is. I'm going to take down the Skywalker saga. I'm going to take this down. And I'm going to put this here just for the time being until it... that is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. That is... I don't know what to say to that. Joe, that's above and beyond, man. I don't even know... wow. That's... I'm kind of verklempt. For that, that's amazing, truly amazing, sir. Thank you very much for that. And look at this. He made a more "Don't Yuck My Yum." I got to give those to Chris. Look at this. It's a Babylon 5 sticker. This is amazing. An amazing bunch. Joe, I don't know what to tell you. I'm blown away. I'm blown away by this. So thank you very much. That dedication plaque it's amazing. And that was a very nice touch putting the mods there. Unbelievable. So thank you very much for that. And it's amazing. Wow. Sometimes you're like, I'm just some guy on YouTube, but wow, it's very nice of you to say that. Very nice of you to say that. Wow. It's incredible. And I have more. Let's see. I got another. Here's another book. And I don't know. Oh, here's the card. Okay. I think this goes to the Brandon Sanderson book as well. Because there's a card here and it looks like it's wrapped the same way. So I'll be able to tell you where it came from. It's from Roberto Suarez. He sends me my favorite candy. Thank you so much. Plus a little extra on the side. Thank you, Roberto. That is fantastic. And then, hang on. So I got 2 things of candy, and he sends me this as well. The Adventures of Uncle Man and Wonder Niece from Mr. Suarez. So I can't wait to read this. All right. Well, thank you for that, sir. And Roberto, look at this. He actually sent me a picture. I got to put this up. Here's Roberto at Bruce's Candy Kitchen. Look at that. Happy New Year to me. That's how behind I am on this stuff. Well, thank you, sir. This is amazing. This is like better than Christmas. And then let's see. I got a big bag. Oh, no. Oh, okay. So Roberto sent me this. He sent me a mug. That's what he was talking about. Look at that. He sent me a mug full of a Star Trek mug with the real Enterprise on it with more candy. This is amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And now, let's see. Last but not least, the Richard, I can't even begin. There's a whole slew of shirts, and the Richard, our man, the Richard, made a bunch of shirts. Now, he did the art himself. He put stuff together himself. This is an extra large shirt that the Richard did. This is cool. So, let's see if this is front or back. So you've got the Silent Hill logo, and then on the back, it's got this. These are amazing. So it's got his artwork and logos and things. There's a bunch of them, and I know that the Richard wanted me. You know what we can do? I'll tell you. I wasn't going to announce this, but I'm going to announce this anyway. So, Connie from the experiential division of Harmon, who has made our giveaway. By the way, I should say that for those of you who don't know, the Burnettwork and Robservations is giving away this for our 400th show. Harman and JBL, which is all of them are divisions of Samsung, have given us a brand new 9-bar. It's called the JBL Bar 9.1 soundbar, and we're giving it away. It's a $1,000 piece of gear. We're giving away a brand new one, and if you want, in the description for this show right now, the link to enter is below, and all you have to do is go through the portal that you get to enter. In addition, Connie, who is making this possible, who's in charge of their experiential engagement division, contacted me yesterday and said that she might figure out a way where for secondary prizes that she was going to hook up discounts on more JBL products. So if you don't win, you can still get discounts. Well, what I'm going to say then is I'm going to add between what Joe has made with these stickers and the Richards shirt, we will make Robservations. We'll make a little package of the Richard shirt, the Richard shirts, and Joe's stickers. So I can probably put together maybe 10 other prizes for our giveaway, and which I'm going to announce the winners on my birthday on May 15th. Which would be cool because I probably can put together with what Joe sent me. I'll put together sets of the sticker sheets that he made, and I'll put together all of that with the Richards shirts, so we can add to this giveaway. And by the way, if you go and there's no purchase necessary, you just go through the portal and it just takes you. You just decide, do you want to go to our website? Where do you want to go? And we will. I'll put that. We'll have a Robservations prize package. What you cannot have, my friends, what I'm not going to give you are pieces of this candy. I'm sorry. You'll have to go to Bruce's Candy Kitchen yourself. I can't take it anymore. I can't sit in the presence of Bruce's Candy. Oh my God. I can't tell you how much I love these candies. I cannot. Well, that is the unboxing, and that's everything that people have sent me. I can't thank you enough. We have a dedication plaque. Unbelievable. I got letters to read from you people. But once again, this is one of the byproducts of doing this show that is amazing, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the cool stuff you guys have sent me. I don't know what I deserve to what I've done to deserve this, but it is amazing. And thank you all so very much. Really, from the bottom of my heart, it's very touching. And I apologize it took us this long. But yes, so for the giveaway, by the way, there's no purchase necessary. Go through that. I'm going to put together I'll put together a package. You know what I should do? I think it'd be kind of fun if I were to, now I can't find it. Oh wait, here it is. I think it's here. We should call up Joe. He did send his number. Yeah, let's call Joe Weiss, the man who made all these these stickers. I've never talked to him. Let's call him. That's what technology is for, right? It's probably his business, so I bet he's not home. I bet he's not there. But let's try anyway. Because why? Why not? Man, this candy's so good. Joe Weiss, who made these stickers. Let's see if he's there. Top quality stuff for over 25 years. That's his company. Yeah, I'm sure he's sheltering at home. But we'll leave a message. Because why not?
You've reached Calypso Signs. Please leave a brief message and slowly leave your telephone number, and I'll call you back as soon as I can. Thanks.
Hey, I was looking for Joe Weiss. This is Rob Burnett calling from Robservations. We're live on the air, and we are just talking about the awesomeness of your product and your stickers. And I'm sure you're not there because everyone's sheltering at home. But, man, I got to thank you. We've never spoken. We've never met. But you've sent me four boxes. I just opened your amazing dedication plaque. But I'd love to have you on the show. If you're camera shy, we can just do it audio. Be great. And I'll call you and I'll email you my phone number later. But I thank you so much for this amazing gift of this dedication plaque. It's amazing. I'm sure your employees or maybe your secretary who's answering this call is like, what do you mean? What are you talking? Who is this guy? Anyway, thanks again. So there you go. Well, now that ends the unboxing portion of this show, and let's get back to your letters. Man, I really want to have more of the candy because, man, it is so, so very good. So here we go. Oh, I didn't pull these up. This one comes from our man Ian Samuels. Ian Samuels says, today's subject is Batman on TV. So let's start with Adam West and Burt Ward and the classic camp adventures of Batman from the 1960s. This, for many of us, was our first introduction to Batman. I, for one, gained more love, perhaps even obsession with Batman from this great, incredibly fun series. The relationship between West and Burt Ward is perfect for the relationship between Batman and Robin, and the chemistry can be seen on screen in every episode. The supporting cast are also great. The three different women who've played Catwoman, Julie Newmar, who was replaced by Lee Meriwether from the TV movie, and when the series returned for its third and final season, by Eartha Kitt. Burgess Meredith as the Penguin, Frank Gorshin as the Riddler, a character who was not particularly liked in the comics, but found popularity through Gorshin's performance on the show. Neil Hamilton as Commissioner Gordon, Alan Napier as Alfred. Alfred is another character that found his popularity through the TV series, as the character had been killed off in the comics and was brought back due to his popularity on the show. Horror legend Vincent Price played the character Egghead, a character created for the show, but due to his success, he was brought into the comic books. Gorshin was not the only actor to play the Riddler. He wasn't available for the second season, and the Riddler was played by John Astin, who was famously Gomez Addams. Of course, finally, the legend Cesar Romero is the Joker, who famously refused to shave off his mustache, and so they just painted over it with white face makeup. You could see it quite clearly on his close-ups, but it was still better than Superman's digitally removed mustache. After the viewing numbers began to dip during the second season, they introduced Batgirl into the third season, but even her presence couldn't help, and the series ended. It returned as an animated series in 1977 as The New Adventures of Batman. Then again, in 2016, we got the animated movie Batman, The Return of the Caped Crusader, and in 2017, Batman vs. Two-Face, as Two-Face was a villain who never appeared in the original series, as his backstory was considered not appropriate for children. Unfortunately, that same year, we lost Adam West. In 1992, we got what has become the definitive Batman in Batman the Animated Series. Kevin Conroy became, for a new generation, their Batman, and Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, as the definitive Joker. The stories are dark and intense and brilliantly told, as the 60s Batman had introduced the character of Egghead, so the animated series brought us Harley Quinn. We also got the definitive reimagining of the Mr. Freeze character, perfectly voiced by Michael Ansara. Ansara had been acting since 1950, but got his break as the character Chief Cochise in the 1950s TV series Broken Arrow. He went on to appear as the Klingon Kang in Star Trek and reprised the role for Deep Space Nine. Also, Elric, the Techno-Mage, in an episode of Babylon 5. His performance as Victor Fries was powerful and believable. Certainly much better than Schwarzenegger's. I guess it's Freeze, Victor Freeze, obviously. Duh. Much better than Schwarzenegger's version. The series spun off a successful animated film called Mask of the Phantasm and Batman vs. Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero. One of the many standout episodes from the series is Beware the Grey Ghost, where the Grey Ghost is an old adventure TV series that young Bruce Wayne used to watch, and someone dressed as the Grey Ghost is going around Gotham and killing people. The Grey Ghost is voiced by none other than Adam West. The follow-up series to Batman Beyond never had the same impact or the same audience figures of the 2 seasons of the animated series. Even the New Adventures, technically seasons 3 and 4, didn't keep the same style or level of storytelling. Until next time, same bat time and same bat channel. This is also... I also have a letter here that tells me that our own imagination connoisseur, B.L. Alley, has sent me a new copy of his book, Relative Age, with a personal dedication in the front cover. That is in a separate box, and it is on my way to me. So it was not in this, but this box actually was shipped a couple weeks ago. So of all the stuff. So I will when I get that book, I will open it on air. BL, thank you very much for that. I just want to mention that yes, that is coming. So you get your own unboxing. You get your own unboxing. So that's good. I guess that's cool, right? Let's see. We've got a letter here from Stubble McShave. Stubble says, "Greetings to the specialist of speculative speculation. I have a question. Should the MCU movies be numbered? I like the MCU movies, but I'm not a diehard fan. I know that the MCU starts with Iron Man, and then I'm not quite certain. I know Ant-Man is before Captain America Civil War, and that Thor Ragnarok is after Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't know exactly which movies are between and exactly what order they come. Sometimes it doesn't matter that much. It doesn't matter if Thor was before Iron Man 2 or the other way around. However, sometimes it does matter, and I think that I shouldn't have to go to a Wikipedia page to work out which movie is the next one to watch. I think they should start numbering the MCU movies to make it easier to know in which order they were released, especially for people in the future who are watching these movies for the first time at home. I think they could add that information that Iron Man is MCU 1, The Incredible Hulk is MCU 2, and so on. Rob, what do you think? Thanks, Stubble." Stubble, I think it's a great idea. And I think you're right. What people forget is, look, in 10 years, when people are still watching the MCU movies, they're going to wonder, well, what order did these come out in? And, of course, it's silly to not have them like that, because how do you know? I think it's a great idea. I think they should absolutely number them. Let's face it. Before Star Wars was Episode 4, A New Hope, which happened in 1981, by the way, for 4 years, Star Wars was just Star Wars. So Disney can look at their own stable of films and use that as a precedent to say, you know what? That's a good idea. We should, in fact, number the MCU movies. I like that idea. I think that is that's amazing. By the way, I'm going to jump into the people have sent me. You guys have been sending me tips and things, and I've been remiss. So let me jump into those. Bad Rob Subtitles Throg sends in a tip and says, "So late last night while catching up to episode 401, the subtitles were on, and let me tell you, it's a completely different take. So here's a taste. You were rod casting." I didn't have any idea. Laugh out loud. Also, Bilson Cabbage. Bilson Cabbage interview is late. Throg loves J-Law and has mad respect for Sudita. I say thee nay, you dare smite the viceroy of verisimilitude by Odin's frog's beard? May Mjolnir strike thee in the noggin and give thee some sense. Love videos, Dieter. Keep making them. No, you know what? I love Dieter's videos too, and maybe as revenge for his Free Enterprise video, I'll just hang on to that. See, I can't hang on to his Agent Cody Banks disc because Dieter has graciously, and I got to give it up for him, I complained that Amazon Germany just straight up canceled my orders for the 5-disc Rollerball 4K and the David Cronenberg remaster of Crash in 4K. Now, I'm sure Crash will be put out by Criterion or something, but it's being released first in Germany. And I had pre-orders for these things like from a while ago, as soon as these things were each announced, and Dieter stepped in and saved me. So thank you, Dieter, for that. Much obliged. So yes, Dieter's videos are great, and I consider him one of the great imagination connoisseurs. So yes. Willow sends in a tip, and says, I saw someone ask this question once, and it's been something that I've wondered about. What's the difference between story and plot? Ooh, that's a really good question. The difference between story and plot. Well, I would say this. I would say the plot of a story, the plot is the actual events, like what is occurring in the story that you're watching. So the plot is the actual events, but the story is what's happening to the character. So when a character is undergoing, say, change, like a male, female, whatever, what is the story of what's happening to our main character? And the story is being conveyed through the plot, through the machinations. And this, off the top of my head, I don't know if this tracks, but this is the first thing that came to mind. So the plot is the actual series of events, but the story is what's happening to the character. Now, the story follows the plot, absolutely. But the plot isn't necessarily, the plot are events, but the story is what's happening to the character himself or herself or itself, I think. Do you guys buy that? Roberto Suarez says this comment is for Elizaviews tonight, so I will not read it here, Roberto. So yes, tonight on Elizaviews, we are watching the director's cut of Terry Gilliam's 1985 Brazil, a movie that has a very storied history. Stub McShave sends in a tip and says, keeping you updated, Sally Richardson Whitfield, director of episodes 5 and 6 of Wheel of Time, answered questions. Production lasted close to 20 days an episode. Oh my God, which is more than twice of what's normal for a TV series. She also said that there were 300 characters and scenes. Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. Amazing. Evan Newman sends in a tip and he says, happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Happy Halloween to Halloween, Rob. I wish Carpenter and Hill could have produced more movies for other filmmakers like Halloween 3. Unfortunately, it didn't do well enough. Well, it could be happening. I can't say. You know what? Can I say this? Should I say this? I can't. I can't say it. I can't. If you're a Halloween fan and you like Halloween 3, keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. All I can say. Dita is here. Dita says, greetings, Rob. If you want an Agent Cody Banks Blu-ray disc, just inform me and I'll buy one. There are actually 3 different cover versions. Well, dude, I have to get all 3 then. Come on, man. First of all, and by the way, thank you so very much for everything that you've done, and thank you for the videos as well. Yes, I would want to get those. I'll just PayPal you money, and also just we'll do exchanges. Should we wait to do exchanges? Because I'm getting you stuff too, and or just quid pro quo, Dieter, quid pro quo. Stub McShave sends in a tip and says, it seems that Mike missed to send my message with the book. I thought you might enjoy a modern fantasy book. Oh, this is from you. Since you mostly reference older fantasy, I chose a standalone novel, so there's no commitment. Well, Stubble, that is what an amazing gift. Thank you so much. That is a great, great book, so thank you. Bob Quall sends in a tip and says, there once was a randy old... Bob's been sending us limericks for the Post-Geek Singularity. Today's limerick. There once was a randy old Wookiee who was just a little bit kooky. When he saw sexy Mala on the holiday saga, he headed for Kashyyyk for Nookie. That's not bad. I don't know if that works as well, but that's pretty good. There once was a randy old Wookiee who was just a little bit kooky. When he saw sexy Mala on the holiday saga, he headed for Kashyyyk for Nookie. I don't know if I should groan at that or bow to your genius. Felix Leiter sends in a tip and says, "Oh, maestro of media, last night I dreamed Paul Haggis was driving me to a dance." Wow, Felix. Along the way, I apologize for only recently seeing Crash. I asked him why he chose to end the movie with that ludicrous scene. His answer had something to do with a light bulb. Stubble McShave says, plot is the skeleton of the story. Ooh, I like that. Plot is the skeleton of the story. I'll take that. I think it's pretty good. I have another letter here from our man Omar, who writes almost daily. Omar says, "Hi, Rob. I have 2 topics to ask you about James Bond. This is the first one. I'll get to the second one eventually, as that could be quite a wordy letter. So for the first topic, what James Bond songs do you like the most? While I only like 4 of the 24 Bond films, I do, however, like a lot of the Bond songs, even if the movies are just okay or not that good. I really like Shirley Bassey's Goldfinger and Diamonds Are Forever. What about Moonraker? Nancy Sinatra's You Only Live Twice, Tina Turner's Goldeneye, Carly Simon's Nobody Does It Better, Chris Cornell, You Know My Name, Matt Monroe's From Russia with Love. From Russia with love I fly to you, much wiser since my goodbyes to you. And Gladys Knight's License to Kill. What about you? You know what? I'm not a fan of License to Kill. It's not that it's bad. I just think she was not well served by the orchestration of that song. All right, I got to tell you. So I think one of my favorite Bond songs, controversial choice. I do not know why people do not like Alicia Keys and Jack White's Another Way to Die from Quantum of Solace, because I think it's dirty and surly and rude, and I like it. I like Chris Cornell's You Know My Name. I think that's a good song, and it's grown on me over the years. At first, I didn't think it was also dynamic enough, but those two, I'm not a fan of the Writings on the Wall, and I like Adele's Skyfall, but it's not great. I want it to be great. I don't think it's great, but I like it. Now, what you don't mention, I love Thunderball. I do like So He Strikes Like Thunderball. Come on, you gotta like that. Any woman he wants. I like Thunderball. I don't know if they're my favorite. My favorite Bond song, Another Way to Die is one of my favorite Bond songs. But I love Goldfinger. I do love From Russia with Love, and I do love Thunderball. I like Nancy Sinatra's You Only Live Twice. I have to say, I mean, Live and Let Die. I love Live and Let Die. Now, I have to, full disclosure, I would buy, every time they released a Bond movie, they're like, James Bond's 30th anniversary. So I love all of the James Bond songs, pretty much, other than the ones I actively dislike. I mean, I even like Man with a Golden Gun, Lulu. He has a powerful weapon, charges 1,000,000 a shot. An assassin, second to none. Man with the golden gun. One golden shot means another poor victim has come to a glittering end. I'm trying to do Lulu. You're probably all, did I break your computer screens doing that? For a price, he'll erase anyone. The man with the golden gun. I like that song. I do like For Your Eyes Only. And All Time High. I kind of like All Time High. And of course, Duran Duran's View to a Kill. So there's more Bond theme songs that I like. I like more Bond theme songs than I love the movies, actually. So the ones that I don't like, I do not like A License to Kill, and I should. I should like License to Kill. I pretty much like all the Brosnan era songs too. GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, and Surrender, that could have been from View to a Kill. From Living Daylights. I don't like Aha's song. I think, I know John Barry and Aha didn't get along when they were doing it. I wanted it to be, it seems a little cheap. I wanted the orchestration to be fuller. I like World Is Not Enough. You know, I do not like Die Another Day. The Madonna song, I thought it was. I understand why they went with it. It's just not a good song. Kind of bummed me out, to be honest. So, and I don't like Writings on the Wall at all. And I really don't. The Billie Eilish song suffers. I think a Bond theme song should be. It should like a great movie poster. It should mythologize the movie that you're about to see. It should sort of give you the promise of the movie itself. And yeah, I mean that's kind of how I would think about it. Let's see what I got here. Here's a letter from Arthur Campbell. Arthur Campbell says, "Keep burning that late night oil. I am." That's what Arthur says. That's what he said. This one comes from Dean Mikitich. Dean says, Dean Mikitich. Hi, Rob and the Post-Geek Singularity. First of all, let me congratulate you on your 400... Oop, it just went away. I didn't mean to do that. Let me congratulate you on your 400th episode. I managed to watch the first 3 hours live before I had to call it a night. If it was not for the time zone difference, I would have watched it all. But never fear, one of the first things I did on getting up was watch the rest of the show. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thoroughly loved the interviews. At this point, I'd like to say a big thank you to you for all the hard work you've put in, and to your guests agreeing to be interviewed. Here's to more guests in the future. Now on to the main part of the letter. Sorry to say it's not funny like my last one, but I hope you find it interesting. I wanted to write to you about dystopia TV shows and films that we got before the current crisis. They were a dime a dozen, from The Walking Dead to The Handmaid's Tale on TV, and films we had Snowpiercer to Code 8 with Sung Kang. They were everywhere. Even our own Star Trek has gone down this rabbit hole with Discovery and Picard. But now that the pandemic has affected us all, turn on the news and it's all grim, with little sign that life will get back to normal anytime soon, or even if it ever will. We are all staying at home and only going out for exercise, going out to work, or even to do the weekly food shop. My big exciting time outside is either to water the plants or pick up poop. That's when I go outside. There is no meeting up with people that are not family members to go and have a drink or a bite to eat, or just to head out for a night of fun on the dance floor to watch the latest film in the cinema. Needless to say, we've now entered our own dystopia right out of one of these shows or movies. So with that in mind, Rob, do you think once the TV and film industry are able to get back to work again, are we going to see this current trend of dystopia continue in films and television? Or are things going to change, and will we start to see more optimistic shows and films? Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy a good dystopia story, but after living in this current crisis, I'm hoping to see something a little more, I'm hoping to see a little bit more hope in my entertainment. Maybe even Star Trek will go back to Gene Roddenberry's view of a utopian humanity and hope for our future, because that's what we need right now. Hope that things will get better and the future is going to be okay. Peace and long life. Here's to the next 400 episodes. I know they're going to be better than the last. Well, I think it's a really good letter that you've written. I look at it this way. Think about what happened to Europe in World War II, or World War I for that matter. The Spanish flu that happened after World War I, killing millions and millions of people the world over. Not to take away from anybody who has lost loved ones, or those people who actually did lose their lives in this pandemic. But we've been in tougher spots. And while now we have social media and 24-hour news cycles, so we're always made very aware of what's going on, I have to say that I am incredibly optimistic. Obviously, the COVID-19 virus is going to be around for a while. We're going to have second waves. People are still going to get sick. But we are going to get through this. It's just we're going through something that really hasn't happened in the modern age before. So, I'm optimistic. It's been an interesting. If anything, I think one of the things that has been shown to a lot of people is what's really important in life. What really matters to you. I've seen an incredible. I've actually found the creativity. I dropped it on the Post-Geek Singularity Facebook page. I don't know if it was Jerry Anderson's son, but somebody made an entire episode of a Super Marionation show. My friend Mike Mendez, who directed movies like Don't Kill It or Big Ass Spider, he's been making funny stop-motion videos. He did a video where he battled action figure Guillermo del Toro in his house. Look it up, Entertainment Weekly. Look up Mike Mendez's Guillermo del Toro video. I mean, he was bored in his house and shot it. There's been the outpouring, what John Krasinski is doing. I mean, I think if you want to look, there's been a lot of really great stuff that I think has come out of this. And I choose to believe, while this stuff that here was sent to me a while ago, I've been getting an outpouring of letters and people writing me and sending me thanks and just appreciating what I've been doing. You know, when I was doing the 400th show, and I've always wanted, it's been no secret to anybody who watches the show for a while, that I've wanted to do more interviews and focus on people and do deep dive interviews of people I know or people I respect. And I didn't know if I was ever going to do that, but I really wanted to. I really wanted to. Look, I can talk. I've been talking for 400 episodes. And a lot of people, I really appreciate the Post-Geek Singularity community and everybody who tunes in and supports the channel in every way, writes me letters every day, sends me super chats, sends me tips, keeps the channel going and all of that. And it was, you know, it was a lot of work. By the way, I dropped all 4 of the interviews, the full interviews that I did for the 400th episode of Robservations. 4 of the 5 interviews are now up in their entirety. I only really played half of each interview on the show, knowing that, you know, I wanted to keep coming back. I was only going to play half the interviews, but each individual interview now is up, with the exception of Bill Sienkiewicz, because the Sienkiewicz interview is the longest, and I'm putting some more graphics in it so you get more of a sense of his art and what we were talking about. So that's also going to be up probably tomorrow. But I did put up Barbara Crampton yesterday evening, and Melinda Snodgrass is up today. And I want to thank them. I mean, I'd like to do that. Maybe if I did 1 interview a week, I'd like to try, and I'm not up on the technology enough where John is at yet, where I can do it live and feel comfortable that it won't crash. Because one of the things that I have to do whenever somebody sends me in a video, I am broadcasting my show at a certain frame rate. It's 30 frames. I could be doing it at 24, but when people send me videos, most people that are sending me videos are sending 30 frame videos. So I have to sort of recompress everyone's videos, and you don't have to worry about that. You can send me videos however you want. I'll take care of it. But there was an enormous amount of work on my end, and it was after, you know, I was still trying to finish up the Hills Run Red special feature, so I was doing that and doing the interviews and putting the graphics on. So it was a lot of work, and each interview, not just doing the interview, but then it required about 3 times, however long the interview was, it required. So if it was an hour interview, it probably took me another 3 hours or more sometimes with the Bill Sienkiewicz interview to prepare them. So it was a lot of work, and I'd like to do more of that, but I'm just me. I mean, everything you see coming on this channel are out of it's all coming right out of this computer setup here, and I'd like to do more of that, but I like the response that I have from everyone. So thank you for that, and I think it's great. But I don't know, you know, what do people think? Do you want me to talk, or would you like an interview a week? I think that would be worth doing, and I think that a lot of people, hopefully, everything's for the YouTube world has sort of, at least for my channel, has sort of dipped during all of this, but that's fine. I mean, I'm not blaming anybody for that. It's like that all over, but it's also given me time to sort of think, like, what am I going to do? And I've been trying new things, and I'm going to be slowly implementing them. Like, for instance, I never put end caps or links to other videos at the end of at the end of my videos, but I'm going to start doing that kind of thing. So if you go and watch the interviews that I put up to the end, there's always a screen that comes up that links to the other 2 interviews. It's just regular YouTube stuff that I've never done that I'm going to start doing. And I want to do smaller videos and just step it up, because I don't know, we're still sheltering in place until May 15th here, I believe, until they lift that. And to be honest, I've kind of enjoyed this time working. I've enjoyed seeing all the creativity, and I've enjoyed doing these things, and the interviews. It was great. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm glad it is working for you in that sense. This comes from this comes from Talkin' Trek. This is from John Hubbard. He just says about the uniforms, Talkin' Trek. That's it. That's probably because he went through and entered the sweepstakes. Well, not sweepstakes, the giveaway, and sent that letter. Let's see. Somebody said I might have missed one of their tips. I'll check that out. I don't know if I did. I try and get back to them. So yeah. Let's see what else is going on here. BL Alley sends in a tip and says, Rob, plot is the primary event or events which drive the story. Absolutely, when the story is plot driven. I rate the Craig Bond movies in descending release order from Casino Royale to Spectre, and Another Way to Die is one of my favorite themes. Well, thank you, BL. We park our shuttlecrafts in the same shuttle bay because, yeah, it's a great song. I don't know why people don't like that song. I love the guitar riff. I love the horns. You know, the dun-dun-dun-dun. I love the piano. I love the vocals. I mean, I don't know why people don't like that song. I think it's really, really cool. I enjoy it. But yeah, you know, I do too. I hate to say it, but Skyfall was a movie where James Bond fails from the opening pre-title sequence to the end of the movie. And they don't, one of the most beautiful women to ever have appeared in a James Bond movie, and they just kill her. Bond doesn't rescue her. And I know Bond girls have died, but that seemed particularly nasty since she was basically a sexual slave since she was 12, and then she grows up and she's still being victimized, and then she just gets gunned down. I really didn't like that about Skyfall. Bond never won. Dan V sends in a tip and says, I just wanted to mention that I recommend the show Never Have I Ever. It's a very easy binge on Netflix as a coming-of-age story that deals with grief and has a rocky mother and daughter relationship. It's similar to Edge of 17 and was well done. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know that. I don't know that. I still can't get over Felix Leiter's dream about the ludicrous scene, and his answer had something to do with a light bulb. I think that's very, very funny. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. So, yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring an end to this episode of Robservations, this unboxing episode again. I've been so touched and moved by all of your support for the channel and sending me all of these wonderful things in. And as I said today, the t-shirts from the Richard, I'm going to put, and so we'll email everybody. I'm gonna pick people live on May 15th, which is my birthday. It's Friday, May 15th. That is my birthday, and that will be when I do the drawing. So if you have not entered, as I said, we are giving away, it's almost $1,000. The JBL Bar 9.1 Dolby Atmos soundbar. It comes with everything you see here. It comes with these satellite speakers that detach. It's a pretty ingeniously designed piece of equipment, and that subwoofer, as you can see, is not insubstantial. It's got quite a kick to it. It's very easy to set up, and if you have a room that's not huge but you want decent sound, this is a way to get it without having a bunch of speaker wire all over the place. Down in the description for this show, today's show, you will see a link, and all you have to do, it's just a portal that takes you through. You put your email in, and you can go through and enter as many times as you want. So what we will do was, what I'll do is now I told you with the Richards t-shirts that he sent in and with the stickers, I'm going to make I'll make, well, I guess we're only going to give one prize away, and I will keep you informed as to Connie will hopefully have discounts on JBL products that we're going to give away, and then these little Imagination Connoisseur packages that we will have. So that's pretty exciting, and no purchase is necessary. So just go through the portal, and again, you can sign up for as many times as you want. I think we're well past 4,000 entries, so that's pretty good. So that is very, very exciting. What a cool thing to be able to do for the Post-Geek Singularity, for the 400th episode of the show. So I want to thank Connie and the Experiential Engagement Department at Harman International and JBL itself. We will be back tonight. Elizabeth and I will be back tonight sharing a bottle of vino on Elizaviews whining about movies. I think it's episode 22, and it is our penultimate viewer's choice episode with Terry Gilliam's 1985 surrealist black comedy science fiction film, Brazil. And that'll be at 8 o'clock tonight. Hope to see you then. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring an end to Robservations episode number 402, this unboxing show. I want to thank my moderators. I want to thank, of course, Mike Bodden. I want to thank Louis Yu. I want to thank Detective Jim Boyers and Greg Smith, who is still, by the way, building a 1-to-1 scale snowspeeder from The Empire Strikes Back, a movie that celebrates its 40th anniversary in less than a month. I will be doing a special show on The Empire Strikes Back on, I don't know exactly what's going to be on that show, but I'm going to do a special show on The Empire Strikes Back, so that'll be fun, on May 25th. So there we go. And remember, every person you meet has a story to tell that you imagination connoisseurs, you members of this, the Post-Geek Singularity community, you have yet to hear. All you have to do is listen. And with that, everyone, I always end this by saying, have a better day. I'll see you tomorrow on John Campia, and hopefully I'll see you tonight on Elizaviews whining about movies. And we'll see you then.